Et salut tout le monde les amis, j'espère que vous allez bien aujourd'hui. Toute nouvelle vidéo les amis, nous sommes sur Stanley Parable, c'est comme ça qu'il s'appelle, voilà, donc c'est un nouveau jeu qui vient pas tout juste de sortir, mais qui est sorti il n'y a pas si longtemps que ça, je crois, bref. D'abord je vais faire une petite dédicace à Totoche, voilà Totoche si tu passes par là, des gros bisous à toi mec. Totoche c'est un ami à moi de l'école qui m'a conseillé le jeu, qui m'a dit que le jeu, il a joué au jeu à Skip et ça l'a retourné le cerveau, voilà, donc on va bien voir si le jeu est bien. J'ai pas vu de vidéo sur le jeu. Juste, il m'a dit que le jeu était incroyable, que c'était une dinguerie, que ça avait retourné le cerveau. Donc ouais, j'ai assez hâte. Alors, déjà, entraîne l'heure actuelle, je sais pas pourquoi. Ok, donc attends, je regarde l'heure. 12h12. Attends, ouais, 12h12, ok. Ok. Oh, je connais rien au jeu. Attendez. Ok. Avant de commencer, est-ce que je peux te dire quelque chose? Merci d'avoir vraiment réglé l'heure les deux fois où je vais lancer le jeu. Ok. Tant de gens ne prennent pas cette étape au sérieux, ils laissent leur régler à midi et basta. Mais vous avez pris le temps d'indiquer l'heure et je vous en suis reconnaissant. Ok. Je sais ainsi que vous souciez de votre expérience, votre attention focalisée sur le jeu. D'ailleurs, je n'ai aucun moyen de vérifier si l'heure que vous avez entrée est correcte. Ok. Je vais vous dire, nous allons passer à marcher. Ok. Puisque vous faites preuve de tellement de bonne volonté, la prochaine fois que vous lancerez le jeu, vous verrez cet écran. Vous n'aurez qu'à choisir votre heure préférée. D'accord. Allez-y, choisissez l'heure que vous voulez, même si ce n'est pas la bonne heure, vous l'avez bien mérité. Sur ce, je vous laisse accéder au jeu. Ok. Le jeu, il est bizarre quand même. Hein. Là, attends. Le son, il est un peu fort, par contre. Hein. Ok, donc on est dans un bureau. Alors, c'est trop bizarre parce que j'ai un petit écran et on voit ce que je fais sur l'écran. Et en fait, il y a un petit écran dans l'écran. C'est comme ça à répétition, donc c'est assez marrant. Ok, comment c'est le jeu? Donc, le jeu est en anglais, mais il y a les sous-titres en français, donc n'hésitez pas à lire. What? Heureux de vous revoir. Ok, ben, je suis directement dans le jeu. Ah, je crois qu'il y avait une cinématique que j'ai fait passer comme un con. Euh, Retour au menu. Ouais, je crois que je vais relancer. Comme ça, je regarde la cinématique.
This is the story of a
Ok, c'est
man
parti.
named Stanley.
Stanley, ok.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
427, ok.
Employee number
De
427's
quoi, c'est moi
job
ça?
was simple.
Ouais.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to
Ok.
push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of
Année après
every
année,
year.
ok.
And
Ouais,
although
vite neuf, hein.
others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Ouais.
Stanley was happy.
Il était heureux. Compliqué
And
d'être
then
heureux dans
one
un jeu
day,
fleur d'ambiance, mais
something
ok.
very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ok. Ah ouais, je
All of his
suis la
co-workers
personne.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Salle de réunion. Et je peux me baisser.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ah, celle de gauche. Ok, donc là il m'a demandé d'aller dans la porte de gauche. Ça fait quoi si je vais dans la porte de droite? Vas-y, j'y vais.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ouais, pour l'admirer. Oui.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
C'est quoi, c'est quand tu t'ouvres?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Incapable de suivre les instructions. De not jump, escargot, utile motion, it cause death. Ne sautez pas, escargot, pour cause de mort. Faut pas que je saute.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
J'ai envie de
I'm
sauter,
not your
bizarrement.
enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important.
Ok.
Stanley walked through the room.
La porte rouge. Mais matez, je vous jure que je vais dans la rouge. Allez, couilles.
Perhaps
What?
you misunderstood.
Vous avez peut-être mal
Stanley
compris.
walked through the red door.
Je vais dans la rouge, je vais dans la bleue. Allez, couilles.
I still don't think we're communicating properly.
What?
Stanley walked through the red door.
Je n'ai pas envie. Bah les couilles, j'y vais.
All right, fine, go ahead,
Oh,
Stanley.
très bien, allez-y,
You want to
Stanley.
know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Vas-y.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
J'ai pas compris. Please rate your experience.
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I compared my version, and to be perfectly candid, I think
En fait, je dois donner l'expérience du jeu
Let's
sur 1 à 5 et moi j'ai mis 1 comme un con. Hop. Stanley Parable, welcome. J'ai le tout droit là.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard
Placement
helped you feel
compétitif.
motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Ok. Ça veut quoi si je remets 1?
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Quoi?
In this game,
What?
the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Attends, c'est pas grave si je laisse mourir.
You heartless bastard. Did you do
Il
it
est
because
sérieux,
you
lui?
hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over.
C'est terminé.
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
Hein? Comment ça, il va faire jouer à l'autre jeu?
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Les Sims. J'ai entendu les Sims, comment ça, les Sims? What?
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
Oula, comment ça?
Yes, that must be it.
Bizarre.
What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley.
Tout me
And
plaît
it
dans ce
seems
jeu.
there's even more. Come, let's
Ouais, mais pas
venture
moi.
outward and see what else is out there.
Pourquoi je reste là? Ok. Attends, je vais juste faire le tour pour voir ce qu'il y a. Je peux pas marcher plus vite. Des bonbonnes de gaz là. Ça se ferait si j'allume le gaz. Attends, j'ai une idée. Ok, bon, ça fait rien, ok. Oh ben, on va descendre alors. Hein. Ouais, donc le jeu est un peu spé. Voilà, c'est un peu un jeu bizarre, je sais. Mais je voulais jouer pour voir. On me l'a conseillé, donc allez. Je voulais jouer pour voir ce que c'était.
Oh no.
Ok, donc je suis où là?
No, it can't be.
C'est pas possible quoi? Y'a quoi?
It is.
Quoi?
It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off.
Wesh!
Thank goodness, Stanley, what a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing, that big, open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
Il n'est pas les open world.
Now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here.
Trouve un
Let's
autre
find
jeu.
another game. Preferably
Pourquoi?
something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just
Okay.
the thing.
Vas-y. What? Rocket League.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run
Ouais,
around
je crois que je suis
in. There isn't
Rocket
any
League.
possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Si vous arrivez à perdre dans le jeu, je serai impressionné par un niveau
Okay, so what
phénoménal.
exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
C'est quoi, je dois marquer genre?
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
C'est quoi ça? What? C'est quoi ça? Il y a beaucoup de balles là.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Hold on.
What?
What are you doing?
Attends, je suis où là? What?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Mais attends, mais je suis où là? What? Attends, mais je suis où? Je comprends pas le jeu, c'est un truc de fou. Je suis perdu. Je comprends rien. Non mais c'est aberrant. Oh, désolé les gars, si le jeu est un peu sombre. Il y a une lumière là-bas, on va voir ce que c'est. Pardon les gars, si je tousse quoi. Je suis pas malade, mais je sais pas pourquoi comment je vais pas tousser. What? C'est quoi ça? Il y a un ordi. J'ai l'impression qu'il y a un truc à faire ici. What? Je suis où?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Ok. Écran noir, d'accord. Le jeu est un peu spé, hein, par contre. What? Je suis de retour dans... Ok.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ok. Ok, donc là je recommence le jeu, je sais pas pourquoi. Bon, cette fois-ci on va essayer de l'écouter pour voir ce qui se passe.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Bon, vas-y, je vais dans la gauche.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Attends, c'est pourquoi si je descends en fait. Juste pour savoir ça. Wow.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
What?
And then something occurred to
Je
Stanley.
tourne en rond là ou quoi?
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no
What?
reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Mais je tourne en rond depuis 4 heures, je
He
comprends
imagined
rien.
himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
Attends, c'est
It
pourquoi
was
tu vas en
so
arrière?
much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the
Je suis en
truth
train de lire et
was
je suis
that,
en
of
train
course,
d'avancer en même temps.
this was not a dream. How could it be?
Oh, regarde,
Was
comme ça.
Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Ok.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it.
What?
He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Ah, je sais encore un truc.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Wow. Ok. Ne dites pas ce qui vient de se passer,
This
moi-même
is
je
the
comprends pas.
story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Mariella,
She
je sais
rose,
pas.
got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Wow.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled
il est
through
mort. Je suis
town
mort, en fait.
talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Ok. Je finis le jeu. Hein? Ah mais en fait je crois que c'est une boucle en fait, genre c'est infini.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Putain
he had
ouais,
simply
mais attends,
missed a
le jeu
memo.
il me retourne le cerveau là en fait, hein. Vraiment. Vas-y, tu sais quoi, je vais
When
je vais faire
Stanley
le...
came to a set of
Vas-y,
two
je vais pas
open
le
doors,
respecter.
this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Vas-y, je l'ai pas fait le chemin.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Je vais où là?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
What the fuck?
from here it's, left.
Je peux pas aller à gauche? Putain, enfin je peux pas aller à droite. Ok,
Oh,
je peux
no,
pas aller-
no, it's
What?
to the right, my mistake.
Ah, il faut savoir.
No, no,
What?
no, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
What? Ok. Oh, je suis là. What?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
C'est spoiler.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Hein, fille raide. Je recommence le jeu. Et encore et encore. En
All
fait,
of
c'est
his
une boucle.
co-workers were gone.
En fait, c'est une boucle en fait.
Stanley decided to
Allez,
go to
cette
the
fois,
meeting
je vais
room.
respecter le
Perhaps he
mec
had
et
simply
je
missed
vais
a
aller en
memo.
haut pour voir ce qui se passe. Et après, je vais arrêter la vidéo quand même parce que je pense que j'ai fait à peu près tous les chemins qu'il y avait à faire.
When Stanley...
What?
Wait, what? No,
Oh,
I
c'était pas comme ça.
restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you
No.
move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come,
What?
Stanley. Let's find the story.
Vous savez quoi, les gars, je vais prendre cette porte, je la sens bien. J'ai pas confiance. Mais je suis où là?
I'll
Je l'avais
say
pas,
it.
je l'avais pas
This
trouvé.
is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you, there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Ah, ok. Bon, ben, on redémarre le jeu.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What?
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we
Pas de
just
porte, là,
came
chef.
from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Là, peut-être.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
L'histoire, la voilà,
No,
ok.
wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and
Attends,
retrace
attends.
our steps.
Non mais, wesh les gars. What? Attends, oula, fais-toi confiance là.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Merci.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about
Ne me
this at
convient pas
all.
du tout.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart.
Encore? Mais wesh.
All right, I've
What?
got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Attends, ça fait quoi si je vais tout droit?
No, no, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Ok, moi je vais suivre la ligne.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story
il y a
of
des
no
cartons, enculé.
destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life
What?
itself?
Wow.
Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize.
What?
Not sure where I was going with all that.
Wesh.
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the
Quoi
mood.
cette merde? What? Hein? Je comprends plus rien. Ok.
Cut the music, go back, and look at that fern.
Faites demi-tour. La fougère.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the
Plus
story.
loin dans l'histoire.
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Ok, je dois me rappeler de la fougère. Bizarre. Je vais essayer de mettre ça dans un coin de ma tête.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Putain, mec, je comprends rien au jeu, c'est un truc de fou. Le jeu, c'est vraiment les Squid Game, les gars. Je vous le dis honnêtement. C'est un truc que j'arrive pas à capter. Ok. Wow, encore.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ok.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again.
Oh, no.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Donc, je dois pas suivre les lignes.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Ok. Je sais pas si j'ai L. Ok, ça marche pas. Fin troublante. Vous avez joué la fin troublante pendant?
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is?
Ouais, mais en fait, le jeu est incroyable. Viens dans un bâtiment, narrateur relance le jeu.
Eight times?
La fin troublante.
That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Wow. C'était quoi ce bruit?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he...
Ok. Donc là, ça reprend depuis le tout début. Ok. Donc je pense que j'ai fini le jeu, j'ai fait tous les choix qu'il y avait. Bon, les amis. Bon, bah écoutez. Le jeu était assez cool, honnêtement. Et il m'a un peu retourné le cerveau vers la fin. enfin vers la fin, même vers le début, on va pas se mentir. C'était un jeu assez spécial à faire, voilà, c'était une recommandation d'un ami qui s'appelle Totoche. Donc voilà, donc je pense qu'il n'y aura pas d'épisode 2 du coup parce que voilà, c'est vraiment un jeu, je voulais juste tester une fois comme ça, je vais le désinstaller là, tu vois, c'était vraiment un jeu juste pour le tester, tu vois, on en avait parlé. Et je voulais au moins le tester une fois pour voir de quoi avait l'air le jeu. Le jeu est plutôt cool, c'est une sorte d'escape game narratif, c'est assez sympa à jouer. Euh, il faut comprendre, il y a des trucs que j'ai pas compris. Mais ouais, et en tout cas, ce qui est bien, le point positif du jeu, c'est qu'on sent que les créateurs ils sont passionnés quoi, et, euh, et ça fait plaisir de voir des jeux assez spéciaux comme ça. Voilà, donc il y aura pas beaucoup de jeux comme ça sur la chaîne, hein, je vous préviens. Mais les quelques fois où il y aura des jeux comme ça, voilà, ça sera pour des occasions un peu spéciales. Donc là, l'occasion spéciale, c'était la recommandation d'un ami. Voilà, donc Totoche, tu passes par là, bisous mon gros. Bon, ben, les amis, en tout cas, merci d'avoir suivi cette vidéo. Et puis moi, je vous dis à très très bientôt pour de nouvelles vidéos sur d'autres jeux. Et puis voilà, peace tout le monde.